Hello, my name is Sara Valdez, and this is my educational autobiography. Born in Los Angeles, California, I was raised by immigrant Mexican parents and grew up in a bicultural and bilingual household. From what I remember from my elementary and secondary school, I was a pretty good student and had little issues understanding content. What I remember from high school was that it was very easy. I attended a public high school in Los Angeles County that, looking back now, had very low standards for the students. I had no trouble doing the work that was expected of me, and I was bored in my classes. In my junior and senior year, I started to ditch many of my classes because I knew I could get away with it and it would not affect my grades. I was at the top of my class and I had a strong interest in physics, but my school did not offer many science classes due to lack of teachers. Regardless, I had high hopes for university and I decided to pursue an engineering career. I applied to the top schools in the country and was accepted into UC Berkeley's mechanical engineering program. I honestly had no idea what a mechanical engineering actually did, as I'd never met one before. I only knew that they were good at math and science and that it was a well-paid, stable job. I was nervous to leave home for the first time and be away from my family, but I felt ready, and I was excited to start a new adventure. My first 2 years at Berkeley were a massive culture shock. I was in one of the most competitive engineering programs in the country, and I was surrounded by students who had experienced a much more rigorous coursework in their high school years. My classes were graded on a curve, which meant that I was expected to compete with my peers. This made for a very vicious and stressful atmosphere. It was also a huge culture shock for me to be one of the only Latina and one of the only females in my class. There is a huge lack of diversity in the Berkeley Engineering department, and because very few of my classmates had backgrounds like me, I had very few allies and I felt very alone. All of this, in addition to being homesick, was very overwhelming for me, and I struggled immensely to the point where I lost confidence in my ability to complete my degree. Thankfully, I eventually found some allies and became part of some distinguished organizations that focused on increasing diversity in the STEM fields and helped students like myself navigate through the difficulties of Berkeley engineering. Through these organizations, I got internships and research positions that motivated me to stay in engineering. I also worked on professional development and community outreach and learned the importance of giving back to communities. I even became president of a Berkeley chapter and received some recognition and awards. I had a better handle on my classes and I gained the confidence and motivation to overcome my struggles at Berkeley. And I developed the leadership skills to inspire others to do so as well. Most importantly, I learned the importance of promoting diversity in STEM and supporting underrepresented communities so that they too could be successful in these fields. The majority of my classes were technical, and I was only allotted 6 other classes that were non-technical throughout my entire 4.5 years in undergrad. In my final year, I decided to take an education intro course. With no expectation, this course ended up changing my entire perspective on education and my experiences. It was here where I learned about barriers that are built into society that prevent people from achieving their potential. I spent the term dissecting the challenges students and educators face and discussing possible solutions. I noticed my initial resistance and cynicism to these ideas, seeing that the majority of my university experience was the complete opposite. I thought it was unrealistic, especially in the STEM fields. The tech world is a very competitive and cutthroat environment. Why should we preach otherwise? Why would I want to give myself more competition? I had worked so hard to learn how to play the game. I had never thought I could be at a position to potentially change the rules of the game and make it fair and just for everyone. But I listened, and I did become frustrated at the injustices that are institutionalized in our society, and how lack of education is a huge barrier that keeps people from bettering their lives. I understood that my struggles were similar to other students like me, and that the system set me up to fail. I succeeded, but I don't think I was supposed to. I saw many of my engineering peers who came from the same background who did fail. I had thought that my achievements were my own, but that wasn't true. There were so many people and moments in my life that kept me going and contributed to my success. My success was a mixture of privilege, luck, and hard work from me and my supporters. The opportunities I had gave me so much strength, and it scares me to think that just one wrong move could have kept me from achieving my goals. It also makes me angry to know that one wrong move did keep some of my peers from achieving their goals. After graduating Berkeley, I worked as an engineer in the tech industry. While I was working, I stayed true to my beliefs in the power of outreach and kept myself involved in various educational community outreach projects. I worked with some amazing students and learned so much about the realities of education. I knew that I would eventually find myself moving towards a career in education, and that's how I ended up in LAUTR. I do believe that education is the most powerful tool that can dismantle these social barriers, and I'm glad that I'm now in a program that focuses on preparing teachers to fight the adversities and promote social justice. As an educator, I want to tackle the injustices that keep these students from thriving and bring more diversity to areas that lack representation. I'm hoping that with this knowledge and my life experiences, I can inspire students to take an interest in the STEM fields and become influential individuals in society. Thank you for listening. Bye.